of our new goals this quarter is for you to learn how to graph using Google Sheets. Usually we would graph things by hand, but now we're going to just take a more technological angle on this. So when you see a lab and it says graph, we might give you a template. Here it says go to this Google Sheet template for your graph and make yourself a copy. Because when I open this is a Google Sheets that everybody is using. So you can't edit this. You don't have any editing ability. Rather, you need to make your own copy. So you would go to File, make a copy, and then you could name it. For instance, you can call it, name it for yourself. This is Ostrowski's P3 Investigation 3.3, etc. And then click OK. Alright, so now I'm in my sheet and I can see that I have a place where I can enter my data. Do not use units. If you put in units, it's not going to be able to register. So for instance, if my data, I'm going to pretend, like if I was really doing a lab, I would take my average distances right here and I would input it. So let's pretend it was like 3.2, let's see, 4.6, 5.1. I'm just making up this data from off the top of my head, keep in mind. So actually put in your real data. Let's say that this was my data. Now if I tried to put it in and see how it autographs. Now if I tried to put it in by adding units to it, so if I added centimeters, it's going to take away a data point because the Sheets doesn't register centimeters. You need to just put the regular number without any units. Alright, the next step is I need to change this so it doesn't just say title. So I would go to adjust the title to reflect what the graph is showing you. The good title explains the thing you're changing on purpose and the thing that you're measuring. So basically I need to include my independent and dependent variable. Well, in this lab, I'm trying to see how the number of magnets affects the distance that it takes that paper clip to jump to the magnet. So I would click here, and when I see these three little dots, this is how I get to edit chart. So if I click here, I click on edit chart. And now I can see this is my chart editor. If I go to customize, this is where I can change the titles. So I click on the drop down menu and under chart title I can change it. I can say something like how the number of magnets affects the distance to move a paperclip. Now I need to change my independent and my dependent variable. So I go to my drop-down menu and I go to horizontal axis to change my independent variable. That's my independent variable. See how I can't click directly on this to change it necessarily? Oh, it looks like I can. I can click here to change it directly, or I can do it in a drop-down menu. I'm going to do it in a drop-down menu. So I'll change my horizontal axis, and I'm going to say this is my independent variable is number of magnets. And now it says number of magnets, and then I can change my vertical axis, and I can say distance. And that is in centimeters. I would put the unit when there is a unit. Alright, so now I'm all done with my graph because I have inputted my data, I changed my title, I inputted the correct independent variable and the correct dependent variable. Now I need to get this into my lab. To get this into my lab, it's really easy. You would just click on the graph, copy, so Control C or Command C, and then I'm going to paste it right here. It says insert your graph here. So I will paste it, and now I got this option. Do I want to link this to my spreadsheet? I do. Do not click this one, because if you make any changes in your spreadsheet, it would be linked. So hit paste. And now I have my graph. Now let's say I was like, oops, actually, I inputted my number wrong. This was actually supposed to be 2.2. So if I press 2.2, it automatically fixes here. But then I go back to my lab and it isn't showing 2.2, it's still 3.2. But now I can see there's a little arrow here that says update. So if I click update, Now the graph reflects my current data. So if I ever have to go back and edit and get back to my graph, I can actually open my source and it loads my spreadsheet that this is linked to. So that is how you make a graph and you input it into your document.